Hi everybody, this is teacher Eric and we are here again to study prepositions, but now in an advanced way. We're going to learn the prepositions of movement. This is a class in which people study in the B2 or C1 level. You just need to learn the vocabulary accompanied with some verbs that refer to movement. I want to keep this video short, so I'm going to provide only a few examples and the basic vocabulary that we need. So let's start.
Here you have the vocabulary related to prepositions of movement. We're going to start with this empty space. And as you can see, we have a red ball that is moving. We can say that it is moving towards the blue cube. So towards is the first preposition of movement that we're going to study here, as towards means it moves, approaching or getting closer to something. If you want to put a phrase, you can also use from and to, because from and to are prepositions of place. From means that it moves from or with a specific point of origin, and to means that it moves with a specific aim, direction, or destination. The next word or the next preposition of movement is into. As you can see, we have two put together, in and to. When you use into, it means that this movement ends inside something or to enter something. As you saw, the red ball is now in the blue cube, but because this was related to movement, you simply say into. Now, if it is leaving that enclosed space, you say out of. It is moving out of something. So out of means that it moves outside something. Then we have distance, when it is having some distance from the point of reference. In this case, we can say away from. It means that it moves farther from something. As an example, we can say the red ball moves away from the cube. Along is another preposition of a movement that we can use in here, but this one refers to a straight line or edge, I mean parallel to something. As an example in here, we can say the red ball has moved all along the way from the west to the east. Continuing, in the upper side, we have up. It moves heading to the upper side of something. You can also say up to. It moves and finishes in a specific point. As an example, the red ball goes up to the upper side of the space. In this area, we also have over and above. Those two prepositions of movement can be different in this way. When you say over, it means that it moves higher than and across something else. But when you say above, it means that it moves to a point higher than something else. So when you say higher than something else, you're referring in this case to the blue cube. That is the point of reference in this space. The next preposition of place is around. Around is a preposition of place and also a preposition of movement. In this case, when it is used as a preposition of movement, it means that it moves in a circular direction. It can also mean in different directions of. Now, not only going into and out of, you simply say through. Through means that it moves from one side of an enclosed space and out of the other side of it. Down, as a preposition, you say, or you basically refer that it heads down to the lower side. In this case, we can say as an example, the red ball moved down through the cube and got to the other side of it. With this movement that you saw, we can explain under. Under also means beneath, so both of them can be used as synonyms. It means that it moves lower than something. The red ball moves under the cube. Now having a space in between, you have below. Talking about this preposition of movement, you can define it as a movement or the direction that something has and stays in the area beneath another object of reference. As we were saying, the only object of reference in this case is the blue cube. You can say that the red ball moves in the area below the cube. Now, the next preposition of movement that we have is past. When you want to use past, it means that it starts moving with the object in front of the reference and then it is on the other side of the front. It is basically when you have momentarily an object of reference, but you didn't stop moving. So an example, I was walking past the cafe when I saw my friend sitting inside. So he was just moving in front of it. In this example, he stopped, but not necessarily stopping is the end of the movement. It could continue. Now, it went from a lower side to an upper side. It is similar to into, but now we're going to use onto. On and to are two prepositions that were put together. Onto means that the movement ends on top of something. As you saw, the red ball bounced onto the cube. If it is not going onto something but leaving that space and going down again, you can say off. That preposition basically means that it moves down from something. The red ball bounced off the cube. So the next preposition is across. As you saw, it went from one side of it to the other side of it, to the other extreme part of it. So when you use across, it means that it moves from one side of something to the other side of it. So you can start on one side and then finish on the opposite side. Not necessarily with an object of reference, but it could be in the whole space in which you are. An example, the red ball bounced across the cube.
Well, there you have them. Those are the prepositions of movement that you need if you want to get to a B2 or C1 level. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed my class, and also remember to subscribe in order to grow in this community. If you have questions, I'll be more than glad to answer all of them as always. See you next time. Bye bye.